I usually have my computer. Okay, yeah, we're here. Hi. Hey, Barry.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, we had to relocate. We were not getting any signal where we were trying to do the tasting. So this looks like it's working. So
wow, it's like I'm watching it on Facebook on my other computer on my desktop, and the lag is so it's weird. I'm gonna have to turn it off. It's gonna freak me out.
Oh yeah, don't be freaked out.
But I wanted to see it for the questions, but the questions will come up on this, so that's fine.
Okay, yeah, and so you might have to be checking for the questions. I've got it on my phone here. I think we're good. Okay.
All right, I'll do the best I can on the questions. Try not to talk too much like I usually do.
I'm gonna turn the TV off. Hold on.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
We just
The Markers have 2 new couples with them tonight. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome, and now they know, it's kind of we just kind of roll with whatever happens here. So
It's kind of a tradition now. I mean, it is.
Judy's on, Joy's here. Okay, good. All right. Sorry, Joy, I didn't text you back. I was trying to get the technology working. Okay. All right. Welcome. Steve and team, you guys are on. I thought you weren't going to be on yet. All right. You want to scoot over here?
Yeah.
Scoochy.
Hey, everybody can see my beautiful face as they hear my beautiful voice.
Okay, good. Are you behind on that line? All right. All right. Woo. I think we have got it together. Thanks for everyone being here, and thanks to Emma at the shop for doing everything while we were gone. And I know you guys, we had a little trouble with getting the pairing sheets printed at the shop. So I think I texted it to everyone. So if I didn't text it to you, let me know. And I don't have the real pairing sheet. I couldn't get the to pull up, but I texted a list of what the cheeses are. So if you need it, message me or message on here and I'll send it to you.
Okay, you might want to talk a little louder. We can hear you, but it's a little bit. It may be my hearing now that I'm getting old though too. So.
Okay, Alex will love that. He loves it when I yell.
She does it a lot.
Well, Kate and Alex, you look nice tonight. Are you going out to dinner afterwards?
We've got our anniversary dinner at Paoletti in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you at? Where at in North Carolina?
Highlands.
Oh, so near Asheville. I was just up there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's like 78 and sunny every day.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, cool. Well, let's taste some wine or drink some wine or whatever that is we do. So so we're doing Southern 40. So 40th latitude. Really, to kind of explain what we talk about when we say 40th parallel or the 40th latitude and wines from that area. It's really, you just need to think about one thing, and it's both the north and the south, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere has this kind of Goldilocks zone, which runs between the 30th and the 50th, and anywhere in between there usually is a good wine growing region. I mean, there's some places that aren't, but that's where all the major ones fall into. So when you think of the northern hemisphere, you think of California, Oregon, Washington, and then you roll across and you go to Spain, France, Germany, Italy, and then they're even growing wine now in China and India as well. So we actually carry some Indian wines, which are really nice. And then if you look at it from the opposite side or going south, it's the same thing. So you're in that Goldilocks zone in the south of 50 to 30th latitude. In between there is where you're going to find your wine growing regions. So that area, depending on where you're at in that area, is also going to influence the wines. And when you're at about the 40th, you're kind of in this, like I said, Goldilocks zone. You're in a perfect area. You get a little north and it gets a little cold. So you think about like Germany or something, it's a little bit colder climate compared to Italy. So when you're in the south, you kind of find these great areas running across the globe. And we always look at a globe as a flat thing. And nothing against flat earthers if you believe it's flat. But either way, it runs around the earth, and it's, you know, it's that perfect area. So you go a little too south in the south and it gets cold. So it's the opposite of Germany. Germany would be the top part on the northern hemisphere, and like south in the southern hemisphere, if you go south, it's going to get cold. And then when you get kind of in that middle zone, it's perfect. And then if you go a little bit closer to the equator, it gets a little warmer. So a lot of different influences that can affect that. It's not just straight, you know, it's not one answer, but it is a good guideline. So, you know, altitude can have effects, and the climates, and really like what we're talking about, what this is really kind of a, you know, this is kind of going to be a theme through the tasting today is cold oceans. And cold oceans kind of hitting warmer areas and keeping this very temperate, like this beautiful climate. So we're going to start out in Australia, and we're in southern Australia. And of course we're going south, so it's going to be warmer, right? So we're in southern Australia, it's warmer, and it does get warm down there, and a lot of sunlight, very, you know, intensity. But what it does have is it has this cooling ocean that comes up from, you know, the south, and that helps moderate it. So the first one we're having tonight is one of my favorite producers. They're one of the first families in Australia to produce wine. They're part of this group that they kind of put together with all the first families. So this is Yalumba. And this is the Yalumba wine series, which is their everyday fun drinking wines. They make everything from very high-end stuff to these nice affordable wines. So, and we're having Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris, or whatever you want to, you know, it's the synonym of it. And they grow some really nice Pinot Grigio there because it has a climate that's like Mediterranean. It is almost kind of Italian in a way. You know, it's dry, they get a lot of sunlight, and they get moderate temperatures. So, and not a ton of rainfall. So it really is, you know, conducive to growing quality grapes. And Australia went through a bad rut for a while with all the critter wines and things like that. But wineries like Yalumba, they've been around a long time, and they've been doing it the same way a long time. They didn't sell themselves to, you know, mass marketing and change their style. They're still making high quality wines just like they do in Europe and other areas of the world. So this to me is perfect summer wine. I think this is great with any seafoods, things like that. You could do so much Asian food with this. It's pork, tenderloin would be great with. What do you all think of it?
It's really nice.
Karen says she likes the crispness of this Pinot Grigio.
Christmas.
The Christmas of this Pinot Grigio. Yeah, I feel like it's got like a little bit more going on than a typical Pinot Grigio. Like there's more depth to the flavor than you see on some other Pinot Grigios.
Yeah, you get a lot more of like kind of not really tropical fruit, but like some, you know, orchard fruits, pears and apples, a little bit of orange blossom on the nose.
Yeah, you really get that, you know, those street fruits.
Good Pinot Grigio or good Pinot Gris, you know, like we've all had, you know, okay Pinot Grigio from Italy that doesn't cost hardly anything, and it's just wet and kind of cold, you know, and that's about it. You know, it's not very exciting. But even in Italy, if you go to something that's a little bit more expensive, not even expensive, but in the, you know, $20 range, you're going to find a lot more complexity and a lot more going on. Now, it's not going to be the same as this. This is a different style. This is, I think, a little bit more of that New World tropical kind of fruit thing going on, but still a lot of acidity, and it's still a lot of depth and minerality to it.
So Barry, where in South Australia is this like is it Wales? I'm trying to.
So it's actually the state of Southern Australia,
Southern
South
Australia.
Australia. So that is actually one of the states there.
And is
So an area where you have Barossa Valley, Maclaren Vale, Eden Valley's south there, even closer or even further south, closer to the cold ocean. But they source from they have vineyards all over Southern Australia.
because one of the things I was reading about the 40s is it's often, and I don't know if this is a product of the winds, like the westerlies, or more just a product of the geography of the continents, but you often find them on the west coast of the continents. So I don't know what that.
I'm sorry, I can't really quite hear you, Alex.
I was saying, I was reading that you often find with the 40s that these good wine producing areas are on the west coast of the countries as opposed to, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true, and that has to do with the Coriolis currents.
Okay.
That bring cold water, like Chile,
Right.
California, things like that. Yes. But this isn't really, they have the influence. This isn't the West Coast, although West Coast Australia has great wines. This is really getting influenced by the Southern Ocean there.
Right.
But it's a similar, it's a current that comes up, and brings that cold water. And just like when we're going to be tasting South Africa, same thing. There's a cold water that runs, and that's why there's a lot of life there. I mean, if you want to start talking about marine biology and things like that, that's where the upwellings of all this nutrient-rich water and plankton and everything, because these upwellings of cold water, and that's why you have so much diversity in life down there. That's why the great whites, great white sharks like it down there. A lot to eat.
So I want to know what people think about the pairing. The pairing is the brie, and it's a goat's milk brie. We don't have it. So Alex was like, "Where is it?" So sorry. I tried to play it safe with that one because when I tasted this wine, I felt like it had more similarities to Chardonnay than like a stereotypical Pinot Grigio. It's just kind of what I felt like. So I just felt like I didn't have all the cheeses here. So I know I had brie at the shop, so I paired it with brie. So tell me what you guys think. We have no idea.
Well, I think you're right about I think the flavors here are a little bit more like pronounced tropical fruits and stuff. And then there's a question here. It says, I don't taste any fruit. My taste buds are broken. No, they're not broken. It's subtle. When we talk about fruit flavors and stuff in wine, it's really a subtle thing. I mean, of course, it tastes like wine. That's what it tastes like. I mean, but you have these other nuances and stuff like that. And and you get better by tasting more and thinking about it. That's really how, and talk with people. That's the best way to start like building your palate up and stuff. It's just rather than just drinking to drink. Think about what you're drinking as you're drinking it, and then get some ideas. Yeah, go online, read the tasting notes from the winemaker. It may not be 100% correct, but there's going to be some things you're probably going to pull out of that's going to make it make you be able to taste those things, and also having a little bit of food with it. You're constantly tasting wine. Your taste buds get tired. So they need a little fat, little oil, something to kind of, even a cracker, something to kind of reset your taste buds. So your taste buds are not broken.
This one's
everyone's different.
I was going to say, Barry, this is a great start, and one that, with the start of summer officially beginning this weekend, this would be a great wine to have around.
Yeah. And so I don't know if you've been seeing the comments, but it appears that most of the comments are the Pinot Grigios usually too light or not enough depth, and so anyway.
Yeah, and Karen says the pairing is very nice, so that's good.
Excellent.
Good job.
Okay, good.
Cool. Are we gonna go to the next? We're gonna go. We're gonna go over to Chile,
Oh, cool.
and this is this is such a cool winery. It's really cool because they're not Chilean, natives. They're actually French, and this is from the Lurton family, and they own a lot of Bordeaux chateaus, like some pretty famous ones too. But they've been making wine down in Argentina and Chile for a long time now, and
Wait,
the brothers, it's like this big family of wine people, and the brothers kind of they were fine with working with their parents and all that stuff at the chateaus and all that, but they really were one of the first Europeans to start going to other areas and trying to take their knowledge of European wines to newer areas. Chile's been making wine for a long time, and so is Argentina, but quality wine is pretty new to them in the last probably 30, 40 years. And, they were able to go there and find, similarities to where they're from in France, and then, find the land and use those practices there. And another thing I really love about this wine, and we'll talk about the flavor profile and all that good stuff, but of course it's Sauvignon Blanc. I mean, Sauvignon Blanc's always just a crowd-pleasing white. It's easy to drink. You don't have, if you don't like Chardonnay, you're going to be fine with Sauv Blanc. If you like Chardonnay, you're probably still going to like Sauv Blanc. But these, they've been practicing organics since they started this estate, the Araucana estate. And they're actually, I've talked about this before, they're not only organic, they're biodynamic. So they're doing it even the harder way. But this wine is really fun. And another summer wine. It's their screw tops. Gotta love that.
Love that. Yes.
So what do y'all get out? What do you taste in here with this?
So real quick, I want to tell people, because I didn't send out that pairing sheet. So the cheese pairing is it's just a plain, it's La Bonbie goat cheese. So just super simple, basic, and that should be a good.
It's a perfect pairing. Goat cheese and Sauv Blanc is a perfect pairing, especially because goat cheese has some character to it. It's got, I wouldn't say really funkiness, but it's got a little bit of depth and earthiness kind of. And with Sauvignon Blanc, you get that herbaceous thing. So everyone's had probably some soft goat cheese with like herbs in it. It's the same thing. You're just eating goat cheese, and then your herbs are your wine right there.
So you said that this family, they're French?
Yes.
So I feel like this Sauvignon Blanc is more New Zealand style tasting than French style.
Well, that's just the area. That really is Chile. Chile has a lot of similar influence. We're going to talk about the cold oceans again. In New Zealand, it has that cold ocean that hits the island, and the same with Chile. You have this really cold Humboldt current that comes and hits there, and it influences it. It gets really misty in the morning, and the style is definitely more on that style of New Zealand because of the climate, and that has a lot to do with it. It gives you a little bit more of that greenness to it, a little bit more herbaceousness. Some people even say jalapeno pepper, and I only mean that in a good way because I like jalapeno peppers, and I think they're delicious, and they have that like nice green pyrazine kind of thing. And pyrazine is just a term that winemakers and tasters and geeks out there they call that greenness, that herbaceousness.
It's on the nose. It's like I get a lot of pears and.
Yeah, you should always get some kind of green herbs and stuff, fresh herbs on it.
I mean, yeah, I get like more like forest kind of,
really?
or grass or something. I don't know. It's all green for me.
Maybe got a word for that.
It's all green.
Interesting tidbit. This clone is from France, but you see that it doesn't do the same thing as it does in France because it's a totally different climate there.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Especially where they're growing Sauvignon Blanc is totally different. The ocean, besides Bordeaux, when you talk Loire, which is really kind of the main area, they do grow a lot of Sauvignon Blanc in Bordeaux, but the other main area is Loire, and it's way inland. It has nothing to do with the ocean.
So, and this, the Lapostole folks are French too, right? They're French transplants.
They are, absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this in the same region, that same wine growing region, or?
Well, they grow in quite a few different regions, but no, this is different. This is the Lolo Valley.
Okay, but all south of Santiago, like.
You know what? Don't quiz me on this one. The map, there's too much. It is all over. There's so many regions of Chile. It is just mind blowing.
He wants to know the GPS coordinates.
Yeah, what are the GPS coordinates?
I can find that out for you. I got Google Maps.
This is great. Really good. What do you think?
I'm gonna look see right now.
I need another hit, so I can have some goat cheese.
Oh yeah, you didn't get the cheese pairing. Get the cheese pairing. Michelle says this is an awesome pairing. Not sure how you're gonna top this one, so try it.
All right.
Yeah. So I Sauvignon Blanc isn't my go-to, and but I like this wine. But I would have to do this with food, but I appreciate that it feels like a classic, just very nice, easy Sauvignon Blanc to me.
It's a nice one.
Yeah. So.
It's perfect for the weather right now, that's for sure. But you don't know what it's like because you're up in the Highlands and it's probably cool right now.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's warm today in Florida.
I've heard it's getting summer down there.
Summer is here, I think. So let's see if we have any. Steve says it really pops on the back. I like that. Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc should always have that kind of snap to them. And Karen says I like this. It's really green peppers, green apples, green herbs. Yeah, I mean if you like that kind of tart kind of style things, one of the things, and you all are up in kind of brewery area. Up in Asheville Highlands, all that. I like sour beers, and sour beers have that kind of tartness to them. And to me, I like acid. I like this tart kind of flavors. It's really what I'm drawn to for sure. And this is something that I could drink, no problem, no problem at all.
I had a great saison with my chicken tenders yesterday.
Oh, that's a good pairing right there.
That's funny. Joy wants to know if we're going to drink all these bottles tonight.
Probably.
Eventually. They're on vacation.
We got the fire pit outside.
There's this one rule, that me and my wife Amy always talk about. It's like, you never have hangovers when you're on vacation.
No.
Right.
No, there's something about it. I don't know. It's magical.
You get to sleep.
And you get to eat some good food, and you're not rushed, and hey, get to relax.
Amen.
All right, so we're gonna go to reds now.
Yes. I'm
kind of excited. We're gonna stay in Chile for the red, the first red. I'm really excited. We are doing the K2 or the CA2 from Terra Noble. And they changed the label on it a little bit. Is there a wave on there?
I think. Hold on.
Do you see the wave on the top?
Yes,
yeah, you can kind of see it. Yeah. Turn it a little bit the other way. I mean, rotate it. Yeah. So that's in reference to there's two CA2s, and they're both Carmenere. They're both older vines. And they're both planted in different areas. One's more highlands area or up in the mountains, and then valley mountains, but away from the ocean. And this one is the one that, and I'm almost 100% sure I got this one right because I looked at what I filled out for you. So I want to make sure now. I'm kind of doubting myself. Let's see.
Is the karst, is that what I paired? I think that's what I this because yeah, I paired the karst. There was a question about which one it was. So the karst looks very similar to cheddar. It could be confused with the Thomasville Tom. I'm not sure how Emma put them on the plate for you guys. They should be in order. Oh, but you've got the charcuterie. The Thomasville looks more like a rare or something, and the karst looks more like better.
And it's a little flaky looking, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the Terra Nobile, this is the Costa. There is two. So the other one would be Costa being close to the ocean, and then that didn't work. Let me try this again. I'm gonna break my computer as well.
So cool fact about the Carmenere grape that I learned when we were presenting one of his wines. They didn't even know what they had, like in Chile for a while there. They thought it was Merlot.
That is true. Yeah, we don't have the other CA2 in inventory, but yeah, this is the Costa. So this is the one that's close to the ocean, and it gets that influence, that kind of more saline. The other one is called the Andes, which is of course more towards the Andes Mountains, and these wines are just beautiful. I mean, I just love them. I think they're just very classic, very approachable, but then also serious. You could drink it as not really an everyday, but you could drink it as a regular wine. But you could also take this to a dinner party or a dinner, or take it out to a restaurant, because most restaurants won't have this on the list. You might find one every once in a while, but it's just because they don't make a lot of this either. So it's kind of rare. So maybe 100 restaurants in the whole country might carry this. What do y'all think of it?
This is amazing.
It feels really decadent.
Yeah.
I know, it's such a good wine.
I love this grape. Is this one? I don't know. Is it
Carmenere?
Was it 100%? Probably. I think the one we had from La Pistole was 100% Carmenere. I love that. I think it's.
Yeah, so it spent some time in wood, all French oak, of course. There's a lot of French influence. This isn't. These are Chilean people that are making this. This isn't a French producer, or they're not from France, but they use 100% French oak, and new and used, so not a ton of new wood, because they want the Carmenere to shine through. You want to still taste all that fruit and all that other stuff. You don't want to just taste wood, and it's aged for about 14 months and then 12 months in bottle after that. And a lot of good producers like to age in bottle, and a lot of people are like, why? It doesn't really do anything. It's not influenced by anything. And it's like, what it does is it gives it time to settle and just to kind of come together and marry together.
It tastes like an old world wine, red wine to me.
So I'm going to do some math here on this with my handy dandy calculator. If these were 12 packs, it'd be 412 packs produced.
Wow.
They come in 6, but yeah, everyone thinks in 12 packs when they think about cases. So only 400 cases produced. And it's affordable. It's totally approachable.
It's really
you could drink it now. You could lay it down for a year. You can lay it down for 2, 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, it feels like it could age nicely, and I like Steve's description has a velvety softness to it, which I totally agree with. It's so smooth, but it feels like I get what you're saying about old world. Like there's a lot of that flavor in there, but it's more smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about Chile and Argentina. I really feel that you get a little bit of both. You get a little old world rusticness and like, you know, just kind of character, and then you get this nice new world fruit. I wish I had a bottle of this to drink right now because I don't. I'm gonna buy some personal purchase. I think next week. This reminded me of it.
It's fabulous. I absolutely love that wine.
I think Carmenere, based on the last few tastings we had with it,
Yeah.
I'm starting to really love that grape.
Yeah.
Chilean, treatment of it.
Which is interesting because, I mean, I don't know that I've ever had 100% Carmenere until recently. I mean, usually I think of it as a blending grape, you know? So
yeah. Well, what happened? They did have a lot of it in Chile, but they started pulling it out for other varietals. Not really pulling it out, but just grafting on Cabernet or grafting on Merlot, or even Carignan. So there's a lot. Chile. If you want to find 100% Carmenere, you go to Chile. That's it. I mean, you'll find some maybe in California. There's some small wineries probably doing it because there's some geeky stuff happening there, and they like to do that stuff. But and you might find a few from France, but it's going to be, and then you're going to see it in Spain, but it's going to be always blended.
And so I'm sorry if I missed it, if you said, but Terra Noble, they make other, what do they have other specialty wines or what?
Yeah, so I mean, they make the traditional Chilean wines. So they make Cabernet, Carmenere. I think they even make a Carignan as well, Sauvignon Blanc. It's a pretty new winery, and it is. It was started by these two young winemakers, and it worked for other wineries, and they just wanted to kind of focus on what Chile does really well, which is no, they don't even do a Carignan. Yeah, they do a Carignan. Okay, so they do Cabernet. They don't do Merlot. They do Carmenere, Carignan, and then Sauvignon Blanc, and then Chardonnay. And their wines are super affordable. I mean, this is their high-end wine. What are you retailing this for? It's probably less than $30.
Hold on.
Maybe more. I don't know.
Won't fill up. Ask someone on Karen. Karen.
I would say it's about $30 retail. Maybe less, maybe more. But that sweet spot.
That sounds like what I think that is what it is. I think it is 30. But
let me see. I could look at your email and probably if it's on there.
Yeah.
$30.
Good guess. Oh, there's Steve's. They're $30.
Yeah, but the other wines they make, you could retail them $20 and less, anywhere from like $18 to $20, and they're fabulous wines, and they're all they're all the entry level ones are all screw tops and everything too. So,
Barry, the Carignan, is that 100% Carignan? I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yes, it is. I mean, there might be a little bit of blending grape in there. Don't.
Well, yeah, close enough though.
I can check right now though. Actually,
that's interesting. I'd like to try that because I don't think I've ever tried a 100% or 75%, whatever Carignan. That'd be interesting to try. I think. I don't even know what it would taste like.
Well, they do make 100% Carignans in France, so you will see them. They're not super, they're not all over the place or anything.
Right.
I'm looking right now to see if there is anything else in that Carmenere. I mean that Carignan. Sorry, what was I?
Oh yeah.
I got off subject here. Carmenere, Carignan. There we go. Well, the Carignan is 60-100-year-old vines, and I know that we're getting off topic here, but figured I would. And it's 100% Carignan.
Wow. All right.
And it's affordable. It's right in like sweet spot for price points.
I mean, I don't know. Are you guys interested in trying that? I am, just because I don't really know. I don't know what that tastes like.
I mean, that'd be a good tasting. It's just wacky grapes, from all over, Norella Mascalese, different things that just, Pinotage, stuff that, people don't taste all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let Brandon know.
I like saying Pinotage. You going in there?
Yeah, it's a Frankenstein grape. Well, so now we're going to South Africa, where Pinotage is from, but no Pinotage in this.
Oh, I guess it's a little late to say this, but I had read that this should possibly be served a little chilled, slightly chilled.
You read it on the bottle.
Yeah, all reds really should be
lightly.
When they say, cellar temperature is 58, anywhere from 48 to 58, depending on the cellar. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with putting this either in the fridge for a little while and let it cool down, because the style is made to be really light and easy drinking and to drink now. That's delicates. It's the style of it. Or you could put it in the fridge or have it in your cellar and then just pull a little bit beforehand and let it kind of, warm up a little bit. But yeah, this is a very, their style of making this is they're not trying to get super extracted heavy wine here. This is a wine that is going to be, this is a summer red in a way. And even though it's Bordeaux varietals, so it's like Cab and Merlot and all that good stuff. And it's really it's super easy to drink.
Yep.
What do y'all think?
Yep.
What you said.
It's easy.
Yep. It's
So I feel like if I was doing this tasting without any help from any really much more knowledgeable people than me, I would have put this one before the Carmenere. So I feel like it tastes like
that is probably true, and we'll blame Brandon for that one.
Would you? Serious?
Yeah, I think that should be first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay.
The first red. But
I thought I was missing something.
I really just I think we're all professionals here. We can switch gears, right? It's just like downshifting.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Yeah. You're right.
I was just wondering. I was like,
your customer's always right anyway, so you're right.
I'm gonna tell Brandon that.
Our taste buds are well trained. We can handle this.
Yeah. No, it's because it's Cabernet and Malbec and Merlot and Cabernet Franc, so it's mostly Malbec, which is not something you see a ton of in South Africa. You do see a lot of Cabernet and Merlot, Cab Franc, things like Petit Verdot, but not a ton of Malbec. But this Malbec, and being from the area in South Africa, it gives it a little bit lighter style, like you'd almost see in Bordeaux, compared to the Argentina Malbecs, which are inky and they're still soft and pretty, but they're they're just kind of they're roasty and toasty and just it reminds me of barbecue in a good way.
The Argentinian stuff is probably, I'm guessing, grown at a higher elevation over there.
It is higher elevations, and that's the reason that they are darker wines, is because they're higher up. They get more sunlight. They get direct sunlight. Yeah. They get higher UV light because of the altitude. It's just like when you go skiing or whatever, you're up in the altitude, you get burnt. You get sunburnt more. Same thing. Those grapes get sunburned, and they have to build up bigger, thicker skins to survive. So but the cool nights also give it acidity, so you get that nice balance. Not to jump over to Argentina, but yeah. So it all depends on where. That's why they always say grapes show. They show the terroir, the area, the place, the soils, all that. They tell you what it's all about. if you listen to them.
This one's out of South Africa. Is it in that typical like wine growing region down there, like towards the Cape and?
What's that? I'm sorry.
I said this was from South Africa. Is it from that like popular wine growing region there near the Cape? And
I'm pretty sure this is. I thought they were in Stellenbosch, but I could be wrong.
Right, that's what
says it.
That's Stellenbosch. That's what I was wondering.
Let's see.
Just remember, if Alex is on, you got to get your GPS coordinates.
It's Stellenbosch. It says it on the bottle.
It is Stellenbosch, yeah. Which is there's places. That's another one. That's sommelier test questions right there. I already had to take my certificate specialist of wine through our company this week, and I was like already frazzled because our master sommelier like gave us these crazy hard questions. Just to give you an example of what sometimes we have to deal with in the wine world. I work at the best job. I have the best job. I work in the best business. But one of the questions was, what are the German names of the subregions in Alto Adige, Italy?
The German names of the subregions in Alto Adige, Italy.
Because Alto Adige has two languages.
That's easy. I got them right here. No, I have no idea.
So I'm like, I know kind of the Italian ones, but now you want me to know the German names for them? Oh, man. No one's ever asked me that.
Hopefully no one ever does again.
We're not going to ask you that.
I might.
You might.
So I just tasted the pairing, the Thomasville Tom, with this. I feel like it's an excellent pairing. Sometimes I just think they're perfect. This wine is really interesting to me because of all the big reds in it, but it still is light. But there's I don't know. It's deceptive from what you would think it is going to be. Wait. Wait, Trish says we got a little list on the German names of the subregions. Listening's lost. Oh, they're lost.
Steve, I don't have the answer for it. I guessed on that question.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay. I think this wine is really interesting. It's like spicy or something.
I'm wondering which one you're going to take with you to the restaurant.
Oh no, Paoletti's has like the best wine list. They have a fabulous. So I don't know.
You'll just save those. Put them away and save them for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to see
the last couple of days. You're good.
We're going to Tennessee tomorrow for a concert, so we'll just pack these in our little picnic basket.
There you go.
Yeah.
You get those little plastic, or those like flasks that are like Ziploc bags almost.
Yeah.
Those things are great for concerts.
Yeah. So Michelle says, "Thank you for saying spicy." That's the only word that I can think of with this, but it's got like spiciness to it. This wine, but it's also it feels light still. So I like it. I think it's good, and I feel like it would be nice with like a pizza.
I'd like to say it's
all you gotta do is go down to the little stream or whatever by your place and stick it in the water for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
To cool it down.
Yes, absolutely.
It's very delicate.
It says that on the label, so
Delicate.
That's how Alex rolls. Steve says that the bottle will fit nicely in your car cup holder. Yeah,
that's true. They make them much bigger nowadays, which is good.
Oh, Steve is wild about this one. Steve McWhirter. Okay, good. I have never heard Steve getting wild about one of the wines, so that's awesome. That's good news.
Well, a lot of people write off South Africa, and there's so many great wines coming out of there. It's such a unique place, and there's so much different styles. It's nice to taste them. It's nice to remember how good the wines are there.
I mean, I really could just stay in the Southern Hemisphere for a while with the wines y'all have introduced us to out of like what Margaret River and Chile and Argentina and South Africa. There's a number of great. I mean, really just stuff that I never tasted, and they're just making great wines down there in the southern half.
Great wines, great prices too.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and you're helping out, some local people. Unless they're French, and they just go down there and take over the place. Speaking of French, I think we're going to French next, right?
Yes, actually, no,
Chile.
We're going back to Chile, but with the French producers.
Oh yeah, I know, but yeah, you're right.
What'd you do?
The French just conquering the Chilean land.
Sorry about that.
Adobe just wanted us to do an update, so sorry if
I
we
thought
lost
Adobe
you.
was gone. I didn't know it was still a thing. So what? So we go to La Pistole?
Yeah.
La Pistole? The Cab Sauv.
Yeah, so we just had a Bordeaux blend with Cabernet in it, but now we're going to go almost 100% Cabernet on this one. This is La Pistole, Cuvée Alexandre, and Alexandre, whatever, I don't know how you say that because it's Spanish and French together, I guess. I don't know. This is, they have an entry-level wine that, is kind of your everyday style. This is a little bit more expensive, not much, still great value. 85% Cabernet, 10 Cabernet Franc, and 5 Carmenere. So this is where you get a little Carmenere in there too. And yes, it is a French family that went there and were pioneers in the Chilean wine industry. And a fun fact is everyone's had probably, or at least knows what Grand Marnier is. This is the family that owned Grand Marnier, and then they sold it, and then they bought it back. So they still own it. They own it again.
Oh, wow.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And they are they're very serious about wine, and in a good way, because they take it so serious. The vineyards are pristine. I mean, just immaculately well maintained. I mean, and just the winery is amazing. They've gotten top 100 or number one wine in Wine Spectator many times for their high-end wine Clos Palta, which is, it gets 100 points. It's either 98, 99, or 100 points. And it's not cheap, but for the quality, I think it's something you could buy as a present for somebody, and they would really like it if they're a serious wine person. We get it, and it kind of goes away. We don't have it all the time, so we don't have any right now. But what they do make is a kind of a baby version of it called La Petite Clos, and it is the baby version, and that one retails about $50. So it's about half the price, but also gets great scores, amazing stuff. But the cuvées they're just stellar. I love this. The Carmenere from them is also really amazing. It's one of my favorites.
And that was the last Carmenere I was talking about that we tasted, Barry. It was the La Pistole Carmenere, and
yeah, that wine is great.
I love that, and I don't think I've tasted anything from them that I haven't really liked a lot, if not loved.
From La Pistole?
Yeah,
agreed. That might be my favorite, like, overall winery, because of that. Like, every bottle, and Steve was just asking me how many different varietals have we tried from La Pistole. I think it's at least 5.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah. So in every single one of them.
Well, you've done the rosé.
Yeah.
You've done the cab. You've done
Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Carmenere.
You've done Carmenere. And probably some other stuff too, I'm sure. Yeah, the wines are great. The wines are, and it's really nice because you can see this label somewhere, and it may be in a couple retailers and stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but You know, you'll see it in some small retailers. You might see it in ABC or something, but you can always rely on it being good. It's like Catena from Argentina. Like if you see Catena, it's going to be high quality.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Great. I love that. And this might be the best of the ones we've tried.
You think?
It's up there.
Okay. All right. I'm a huge
I love
fan.
the Carmenere. The Carmenere.
I'm a huge, well, yeah, that too, but I'm a huge fan of the Rosé and the Sauvignon Blanc. Which I said before, I'm not a big fan of Sauvignon Blanc typically, but that, the La Postal Sauvignon Blanc is the style that I prefer.
This is why Chilean.
What cheese are you doing with it?
Oh, the cheese is the Point Reyes blue cheese. So very rich. It's a pretty bold ending, I think.
Yeah, Point Reyes is intense. Great California creamery though. Amazing. Right there out there by the ocean.
I don't know what you mean, Steve. You see it in GG&R. I guess you mean the La Postal. I'm not sure what you mean.
He sees La Postal in GG.
Yeah, like you carry them. You carry the other ones, right? I mean, you have probably the rosé and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep that in stock.
That's the only place you should need to be shopping at anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. We agree.
So how's the wine bar? I haven't been in there in so long. I don't even know.
Very okay.
You need
to come for an in-person tasting.
I'm ready. Let me know.
We're gonna set that up sometime this summer. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready to go. You just give me the date.
Go fishing. You know.
do some work out on the boat.
Yeah.
Take a client out maybe.
Yes, maybe. Yeah. Okay. So it's great. It's so nice. And you know what? We've had, I think we've had 2 in-person tastings now. 2?
Yes, that's correct.
It's so fun. It's so nice to have people in, and people have been coming in and doing, wine flights, which are basically the tasting on other days when they can't make it. So really, we're doing the wine tastings throughout the weekend now, so people can come in and, they don't get your great knowledge or anything like that, but they can at least try the wines, and so it's really great. It's such a nice addition, I think, to the shop.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait, and I know that Brandon did some stuff for you, and it seemed like when he was doing it, I was doing something else. I had other things lined up. We've been very busy, which is a great thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been good.
Cocoa Beach had its first block party, and it was like a family reunion around there. It was like all the old faces coming in and sitting down and having wine and enjoying all our good customers. So
yeah,
it was really nice.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah, I think we're seeing definitely the light of the tunnel is getting much bigger.
Yeah, yeah. So
cheers to that.
Well, I was going to say, I said this when we tasted La Postal, because we were talking about Chilean wines, but Cabernet and Chile are, like, to me, synonymous with good value. Like, when it comes to good winemakers in Chile, and this doesn't disappoint at all.
I mean, the thing is, Chile's got some really, it'd be interesting to see what other grapes are going to start growing there, because, Cabernet does well there, Merlot does well there, Carmenere does well there, Carignan does well there, Chardonnay does well, Sauvignon Blanc does well. Like, they could probably grow anything. It's just a matter of finding the right area. It's so diverse. There's so many like microclimates and in areas that you can, find different soils, different climates, all that stuff that you can match the grapes with. So, but I like that they're kind of sticking with what's working now and not trying to do everything.
Yeah.
When you try to do that. But I guarantee you're going to see in the next 20 years, you're going to see some small little wineries that's going to just they're going to find a little area and they're going to do something different there. And it's going to be really neat to see that. And we can still count on the bigger wineries or the established wineries to give us, the quality and consistency. But there's going to be it's happening in California right now. It's happening in France, where these small wineries are doing just things that are different. They're doing natural wines. They're doing pet nats. They're doing all this stuff. They're growing different grapes and, things that, just aren't typical of California, because California, we already know what grows good, and that's great. But there's opportunity to grow some other grape varietals and experiment and do some cool stuff.
Yeah, and I with Chile, when I was reading about it, like, if you go north to south from Santiago, like you start to see the coastal range start to get lower and lower. So you get more influence from the ocean, more interaction. You got the westerly winds that basically split at the 40th parallel there. And so you've got, like you were saying, you've got all different, like, micro.
Great. Yeah, I mean, you think about, it's the youngest, I think it's the youngest, or almost the youngest mountain range in the world.
Right, yeah, with the Andes, yeah.
I think it might be, but either way, you have that plate that's like hitting and pushing up all this dirt and gravel, and just everything, all this new earth. And so that's why you find so much different soil complexities all over the place. And it's in California as well, too. You see it. San Andreas Fault, things like that. It's those plates hitting the tectonics, and they're pushing up stuff that's just amazing soils. They don't even know what to do with them, because there's so much diversity. You got valleys that run north and south. You got valleys that run east and west. I mean, it's just, you got amphitheaters. You got all these things that, like, it's just so diverse. And it's so, it's mountainous. It's a mountainous country. So you have a lot of opportunities to grow different types of grapes. So I think we're going to, and not to say anything against Argentina. Argentina has, like, they're more of like a high plateau kind of style. They make great wines. It's wonderful, but they don't have the diversity, like, in such a small area that Chile does.
Right, that makes sense. And who knows what's going to happen in a million years with the way those plates are moving.
Yeah. I mean, what Chile has to worry about is just moisture at that point, because where Argentina is lucky to have this, this rain shadow by the mountains, and it's high desert, dry. They have to irrigate, or you can't grow anything there. But luckily they have rivers and stuff like that come from the mountains and from the snowmelt. But what Chile has to worry about is their moisture, the rains and things like that. So they have to find the right areas, the right drainage in the soils and all that good stuff. But I think I think you're going to see a lot of cool stuff coming out of Chile in the next 20 years.
Well, we are very happy about what you guys have been introducing us to from there so far. I mean, it's really opened my eyes.
It's gotten so much better in Chile. That's the thing. It's really, I used to not even want to drink Chilean wines. And now I'm like, I'll drink them all day long. Quality has gotten so much better.
Well, Barry, thank you so much for coming back and joining us. And I mean, every time we see you, which is, here and there, we're like, we need more Barry. So let's try to plan in person.
Yeah, and I think now that everything's opening up a little bit more, I think this is the opportunity that I'll come down, and yeah, absolutely, anytime I will do it.
All right, good.
I still like doing these. This is always fun. And if anyone on this has any questions or anything, I know we kind of didn't really answer much of the comments, so I think this is a good time to, if you do have some questions, ask away, or if you just want to just chill and finish your wine and eat cheese, that's cool too. I mean,
yeah. Did anyone have any questions? I didn't. I feel like we covered the questions, but maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there's somebody has something they want to throw up, that's fine. I just don't want to just cut everyone off, because we talked the whole time, and it's kind of hard to go through all the comments and everything without making a comment for every comment. So I just want to make sure we take care of the people that have been following us all through this. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you all for keeping it going. And it's an absolute it's a joy to do these. And I get to have my people like Marcello come and do it and stuff. I'm not as good as him, but at least I get to have him. And I actually watch when he's on there because he's so entertaining.
Oh,
yeah, we love Marcello.
Okay, let's see. No, so okay. Steve says thanks. Great wines tonight, Karen. Great info. We covered it. So I think we're all good. But thank you guys for you're going and picking up. I think some of you went and picked up wines that usually get delivery. So thank you for doing that while we're out of town and still supporting us. And Barry, thanks for joining us. And I want to cheers, but I don't want to cheers with an empty glass.
Yeah.
That would be really bad. I'm gonna do a splash of Carmenere.
Carmenere.
All right.
Is that a splash?
It's a splash. Yeah. Guys, cheers.
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 Everyone have a great night.
Have a great long weekend, everybody.
Happy Memorial Day. Yeah. Okay, now we don't know how to stop it, though.
I do.
Hey, you'll have a great dinner tonight. Enjoy yourselves.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
Bye.
All right, good to see you. Bye.